still can't even see this camera very clearly. But we're going to talk about, well, had the passing of an old friend in the last week or so. But not an old friend as a person. I'm talking about a computer, a laptop. Imagine we're going to have to take a little trip back in time for you to understand why I'm making this video. But in a few minutes, you'll get the idea. Long, long ago, in a land far away called China, I had been working there for a couple years, and I had always used my school's computers. They had to provide us foreign teachers, with a computer and internet. All that stuff was free. There's certain things that if you're a teacher over there, they have to do for you. But I decided, well, I want something of my own. And just so happened, when I was in Shangqiu Henan province, I got to working on my days off at a middle school. And in China, well, probably it's a bad idea. You don't sign a contract with another school. You have lots of opportunities to make extra money, but you don't sign any kind of paperwork. But even though your school, and this is how it happened, my college that I worked at happened to give me an opportunity to make a little extra money. I said, well, okay. And I started teaching on Fridays. I think it was every other Friday at a middle school in Shangqiu. And I made a deal with the people because at that time, those schools weren't allowed to have foreign teachers. And if one school, another middle school or high school across town heard that your school had a foreign teacher coming in, excuse me here, my mood music went away, they would report it to the police that this was going on. That's kind of silly, but anyhow, they didn't want any school getting an advantage over another. So I told the people at the school because of this, and they'd also told me, this is wild, they told me that if I was teaching and they came and got me, they would escort me out the back of the school, because if that happened, it'd be because the police or some official would be investigating to see if I was working. What? And I thought that was crazy. So anyhow, I made a deal with them. I told you what, at the end of the day, you pay me cash. So when I walk out this door, I'm done with you until the next time I come in. And they accepted my offer. And so everything was free and clear. And nobody ever come and got me or anything, for teaching in the school. Everything, as far as I know, it's all fine. But it's kind of crazy how things work in China. But during that time, I'd saved my money up, and I wanted to get a new computer. And it was coming on winter, and I had some money saved up. And I said, well, it's time to go do this. And my girlfriend at the time, Mary, she was in, and we decided we'll just go shopping for computers. We already knew where to go. The cool thing about China is, like, if you're looking for a telephone, you got streets that are nothing but telephones. If you're looking for a computer, in our case, they got another street, another block that's nothing but computers. If you're looking for shoes or whatever it is, everything that has its kind of a special location. And on the day that we decided to go out, it's on a Saturday, it was snowing. It was cold, and big old fat flakes of snow were coming down everywhere in the ground, and the streets were getting white. It was pretty good snow. And we started down the computer streets. And this was, like I said, this was the winter of 2013, 2014. It's been a while. And we go into a couple shops. I still didn't really see what I wanted. And I kind of had this idea. I didn't want to spend any more than about 5,000 yen. Which is not a lot. But yeah, it is in China. But, you know, here in America, if you do the exchange, you know, it's about, back then it was probably about $1 was 6.5 yen. But we went into the shop, and they were primarily a Samsung shop. But I saw exactly what I needed, and I still have it here. I haven't thrown it away yet. There's a little notebook. This is it. I won't have it for long because it's died. This video is made because of what has happened on this computer. Now back then, it was Windows 7. I don't know if 10 had broke loose yet. I can't remember exactly when Windows 10 actually busted loose. But this one had Windows 7. Alright, so I see the computer I like. The price is right. It's got the Windows 7. Oh my God! And I said, well, let's do it. And then we got to talking and thinking, well, this computer is in Chinese. Oh my God. So we told the people that, well, you know, I'm an American, obviously, not Chinese, and I needed to get English Windows. So they called about a block behind their store. They have a warehouse, and it is enormous. Pallets and pallets of gaming computers and video, you know, apparatus, you know, video cards. I mean, just anything. They built computers right there for anybody. So we go into this shop, and the salesman says, well, we need to, you know, which is said in Chinese, but, you know, basically said, well, we need to get English Windows. They did not have a copy of English Windows. Imagine that. We're in the middle of China. So people get on the telephone, and next thing you know, through the miracle and the technology of the internet, they're sitting there with a bootleg copy of English Windows 7. I didn't care. I just wanted to get a computer. You know, it'd be lunch in an hour and a half or 2 hours. Just get a computer and go, and then end up back at my school with my new computer. So we sit in this warehouse, and we're watching it snow outside. And we're talking. And, a little while later, the guy brings the computer out, and we got English Windows 7, albeit a bootleg copy. But anyhow, I was satisfied. I was happy. And like I said, this is winter 2013, 2014. It's been a while. And in the days that followed, I had a new toy. I had to play with it as much as possible. So every class I had, the computer went to class. And I'd pull it out, and me and the kids would play with it before class. Even though we had computers in the classroom, it's just something different. Every English corner, anywhere I went, that computer went with me. And you don't realize how bad you miss something until you have it. So, starting it during that time, also I started doing books. I was taking some old public domain books and putting them together so I could end up, I sell them, but I wasn't trying to make any money. I was trying to get something for the students to read that was real English. And then photography had started entering my life. But starting in that time, every book I ever written, every photo that I have ever edited, every video that I've ever made and edited, everything was done on this computer. You have to imagine this now. Everything I did, going all the way up until today, all my novels, well, the half a dozen or whatever I got on Amazon, all my English teaching books, every single photo I've ever edited, thousands and thousands and thousands of photos from China, from shooting models, you name it, all the parks, all those places, every single photo had all been done with this little Samsung. And YouTube likes commercials. I like having this background music. Kind of sets the mood, you know. And I got some Chinese going on. Every single day of my life, guys, that computer's been turned on. Often, many times, even during a day. Now, I've reloaded Windows 7 on it a few times. Had to change out a few parts. This old thing is kept on ticking, guys. You know, today's computers, they'll tell you in the computer store, oh, you'll have it for a couple of years, and you need to get something new. Well, I don't want to buy a new computer every 2 years. I mean, I know technology flies, but this old computer, you got to think about it. This is like having a comfortable old chair. Your favorite shirt. That's what this thing represents. All the students, all the classes I've had, all those models that I've photographed, all that stuff, this computer has had something to do with. Not to mention talking to my friends, like on Facebook and stuff. We had to have a VPN, so I could have Facebook, but I still had to have the device. And I didn't want to use anything from the school, because I didn't want to get into trouble. And I didn't want my school to get into trouble for me using Facebook, because it's illegal in China. All that Facebook, YouTube, all that mess is illegal. Communism for you. And I came back here to America in 2019. So that computer already had some age on it then. I'm talking about seriously used. And I've been back here for a little while. Then something dreadful happened. There's some water got spilled on the keyboard. I panicked. Here it is. I was drowning my old friend. And it did. It pretty much fried the keyboard. But the little pad still worked. A couple other buttons did work. And just so happened I had an extra keyboard here, and I plugged it in just to see if it would work. And it did. And I like the idea of having that extra keyboard. The computer, a lot of the laptops and all that have these little buttons, and you really can't feel your fingers sinking into them, to actually know why I press that key. Because I have neuropathy, it's hard for me to feel with my hands anyhow. So here we go. My computer is going to live to fight another day with the help of that keyboard. And since then, my books on Amazon have exploded. Not making me a lot of money, but the thing is, this old Samsung guy just keeps on ticking. Like that watch or the batteries or whatever. I can't say enough for it. I mean, Samsung built a little tank, and just lucky. Everything, like I said, that I've done, kept on. It's all because of this computer. But finally, here the other day, it gave up the ghost. It started shutting off on its own. I know it's something with a motherboard. But today, man, think about it. We're in 2025. This computer's outlived lots of people's computers. And I'm not just bragging on Samsung, even though I'm sure they have something to do with it. They built the thing. But this whole extraordinary life that I've had, from China until today, all the things I've done, the books and photography and photo, it's endless. All the hours and hours and hours I've spent, talking to friends and family, and a few of my people from China that do have permission to use Facebook. So all these memories, guys, tons and tons of memories, are about to go in the trash can. And I thought I would just say a few words and hope that you can kind of understand why it's a little sad. It's not quite like cutting an arm off or cutting a leg off, but you kind of get the message. It's like, wow. Now, since I just got a new Lenovo Slim Pad or something like that, and I got a good processor, yada, 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 something that'll help with these videos, processing them, editing faster. But when you go to your computer today, how long have you had that thing? What have you actually done on it outside of, surfing, buying stuff from Amazon? It's incredible if you get lucky like I did. You got this one device that's lasted this long. Not everything's built like that these days. So anyhow, hope you had a good day and just kind of see my idea about this, my way of thinking. I'm about to throw an old friend out in the trash, out on the street. So anyhow, but you guys have a good day, okay? And I got some more stuff coming up that I'd like to make videos on. Like I said, I'm sorry for being so stagnant here in the recent year or so, but health has a lot to do with it. But you take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Say bye-bye.